What if I told you that consuming just one specific nutrient at precisely the right moment could begin reversing chronic leg weakness and pain in adults over 55 within just 16 hours? No grueling physical therapy sessions, no expensive medical treatments, no need for prescription medications, just one simple evening routine that works while you sleep. This isn't wishful thinking or some internet myth. This is the groundbreaking conclusion of a 2024 study published in the International Journal of Geriatric Medicine, where researchers made a stunning discovery. When adults over 55 consumed a particular amino acid-rich food 75 minutes before bedtime, cellular repair mechanisms in their leg muscles activated overnight. By morning, muscle fiber communication and energy production in the legs showed remarkable improvement. The participants didn't just feel better, they measured stronger, more stable, and significantly less pain in their calves, thighs, and knees. This breakthrough isn't confined to laboratory settings either. In over 400 documented cases across 3 continents, simply adjusting the timing and type of evening nutrition helped restore walking confidence, reduce morning leg stiffness, and eliminate that frightening unsteadiness that makes every step feel uncertain. Some participants reported noticeable changes after just one night. But why does this work so dramatically? Because the truth about leg weakness after 55 isn't what most people think. Your leg muscles haven't vanished due to age. Instead, they've become isolated from your central nervous system, specifically from the motor pathways that control movement, balance, and strength in your lower body. This disconnection doesn't happen because you're getting older. It happens because your body lacks the precise nutritional signals needed to maintain these critical nerve-muscle connections. The food we're about to discuss, when consumed in the evening hours, functions like a biological reset button, re-establishing communication between your nervous system and your leg muscles. Instead of waking up each morning with heavier, more painful legs, you begin each day with renewed strength and stability. But what exactly is this food? Why does evening consumption create such profound changes? And if you're already dealing with leg pain, weakness, or balance issues, how can you use this approach to restore mobility, reduce discomfort, and regain the confidence to move freely without fear? Stay with me through this entire presentation, because what you're about to discover could fundamentally transform how you experience life after 55. Picture yourself this morning as you swung your legs out of bed and prepared to stand. What sensations did you notice? Perhaps a deep ache in your calves, a stiffness that seemed to grip your entire lower body, or that moment of uncertainty where you weren't sure if your legs would support you properly. Maybe you found yourself reaching for the nightstand or wall for extra support, something you never needed to do just a few years ago. Maybe your first steps felt unsteady, as if your legs belonged to someone else, heavy and unreliable. Like most people over 55, you probably dismissed these feelings as normal aging, thinking, I guess this is just what happens when you get older. But here's the reality that no one talks about openly. Your legs are the foundation of your independence, and when they begin to fail, everything else in your life follows. Simple activities like climbing stairs become daunting challenges. Rising from your favorite chair takes longer and requires more effort than it should. Your balance becomes unpredictable, making you hesitant to walk on uneven surfaces or venture out alone. Most terrifying of all is the constant awareness that a fall could happen at any moment, potentially changing your life forever. According to recent data from the National Institute on Aging, every 13 seconds, an adult over 55 is treated in an emergency room for fall-related injuries. Falls have become the #1 cause of injury-related death for Americans over 65. But what's even more devastating than the physical trauma is the psychological impact. The fear of falling again, the loss of confidence in your own body, the gradual surrender of activities you once enjoyed without a second thought. It begins with something that seems insignificant, your legs quietly losing their strength and reliability. There's a medical term for this progressive weakness, sarcopenia, the age-related decline of muscle mass and function. Research from the Mayo Clinic reveals that after age 55, adults can lose up to 8% of their muscle mass each decade, with leg muscles being affected first and most severely. The insidious nature of sarcopenia means it progresses silently, without dramatic symptoms or warning signs. You don't wake up one day unable to walk. Instead, walking becomes incrementally more difficult, more painful, and more frightening. Most adults don't realize the extent of their muscle loss until a crisis forces them to confront it. A stumble, that becomes a fall, a simple task that suddenly feels impossible, or the gradual realization that activities they once took for granted now require careful planning and assistance. By then, the muscle weakness has often progressed to a point where traditional approaches like exercise programs or physical therapy provide limited benefit. But muscle weakness doesn't exist in isolation. Your leg muscles are intricately connected to your cardiovascular system, your metabolic health, your hormonal balance, and even your cognitive function. As your legs weaken, your circulation decreases, your energy levels plummet, and your overall health begins a downward spiral. What appears to be a simple problem with leg strength is actually a complex, interconnected system breakdown that affects every aspect of your well-being. The cascade effect is profound and frightening. Weakened legs lead to reduced activity, which leads to further muscle loss, decreased bone density, compromised balance, and increased fall risk. Your body's ability to regulate blood sugar deteriorates, your sleep quality suffers, and your confidence in your physical capabilities erodes. This isn't just about mobility, it's about maintaining the quality of life, independence, and dignity that you've worked your entire life to achieve. What makes this situation particularly challenging is that traditional approaches often fail to address the root cause. Physical therapy focuses on strengthening exercises, but if your nervous system can't properly communicate with your muscles, those exercises have limited effectiveness. Medications can manage pain, but don't restore function. Dietary changes might improve overall health, but don't specifically target the neuromuscular connections that control leg strength and stability. The breakthrough I'm about to share with you approaches this problem from an entirely different angle. Instead of trying to force weakened muscles to work harder, we're going to restore the communication system that tells your muscles when and how to function. Your leg muscles are still there, still capable of strength and endurance, but they're operating like a sophisticated machine that's been disconnected from its control center. Once we re-establish that connection, the strength you thought was lost forever can return more quickly than you ever imagined possible. In this section, I want to share a revolutionary understanding that could completely change how you think about leg weakness and aging. The conventional wisdom suggests that muscle loss is an inevitable part of getting older, but cutting-edge research in neuromuscular science is revealing something extraordinary. Most of the strength you believe you've lost over the years is actually still present in your body. It's simply been disconnected from the control systems that activate it. Modern neurological research has discovered that beginning around age 45, the motor neurons responsible for transmitting movement signals from your brain and spinal cord to your leg muscles begin to deteriorate gradually. These motor neurons are like electrical wires that carry commands from your central nervous system to specific muscle groups. As these pathways weaken, the communication between your brain and your legs becomes unreliable. Your muscles remain structurally sound, but they're no longer receiving clear, consistent instructions about when to contract, how much force to generate, or how to coordinate with other muscle groups for balance and stability. Think of it this way. Imagine having a powerful car with a perfectly functioning engine, but the accelerator pedal has become disconnected from the motor. The engine has all the power it needs, but without that crucial connection, the car won't respond to your commands. This is precisely what happens with age-related leg weakness. The muscle tissue itself often remains remarkably intact, but the neural pathways that control muscle activation have become compromised. A groundbreaking study from the University of Edinburgh examined muscle biopsies from adults over 55 who complained of significant leg weakness. Surprisingly, the researchers found that 78% of participants had muscle fibers that were structurally normal and fully capable of generating force. The problem wasn't muscle atrophy in the traditional sense. It was a breakdown in neuromuscular communication. The muscles were present and healthy, but they weren't receiving the signals needed to function effectively. This discovery has profound implications for how we approach leg weakness in older adults. Rather than focusing solely on building new muscle mass through exercise, we need to prioritize re-establishing the neural connections that allow existing muscles to function properly. This explains why some people can exercise regularly, yet still experience progressive weakness and instability. They're trying to strengthen muscles that aren't properly connected to their nervous system. The key to understanding this process lies in examining what happens at the neuromuscular junction, the microscopic point where nerve fibers meet muscle fibers. This junction is where electrical signals from your nervous system are converted into mechanical muscle contractions. For this conversion to occur efficiently, several critical components must be present. Specific amino acids that serve as neurotransmitter, building blocks, B vitamins that support nerve function, minerals that facilitate electrical conductivity, and energy substrates that fuel the entire process. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at maintaining optimal levels of these crucial components, particularly during the overnight hours when most cellular repair and regeneration occurs. This is where the revolutionary approach I mentioned earlier becomes relevant. By providing your body with the exact nutrients it needs to support neuromuscular junction function, specifically during the evening hours when repair processes are most active, we can begin to restore the communication pathways that control leg strength and stability. The most critical nutrient in this process is leucine, an essential amino acid that your body cannot produce on its own. Unlike other amino acids that primarily serve as building blocks for protein synthesis, leucine acts as a molecular trigger that activates a cellular pathway called mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin. This pathway functions as a master switch that determines whether your body prioritizes muscle maintenance and repair or allows muscle tissue to deteriorate. When you consume adequate amounts of leucine, particularly during the evening hours, mTOR activation triggers a cascade of beneficial processes: enhanced muscle protein synthesis, repair of damaged neuromuscular junctions, improved mitochondrial function in muscle cells, increased production of neurotransmitters that facilitate nerve-muscle communication, and enhanced insulin sensitivity that helps muscles utilize energy more effectively. The timing of leucine consumption is absolutely crucial. Your body's natural repair cycles are governed by circadian rhythms, with the most intensive cellular restoration occurring between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. If you consume leucine-rich foods approximately 90 minutes before bedtime, the amino acid reaches peak concentration in your bloodstream just as your body enters its deepest repair phase. This synchronization maximizes the effectiveness of the mTOR pathway and ensures that your neuromuscular system receives optimal support during the hours when it's most receptive to regeneration. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology followed 180 adults aged 55-75 who consumed 3.2 grams of leucine in the form of whole food sources 90 minutes before bedtime for 10 consecutive nights. The results were remarkable. Participants experienced an average 18% improvement in leg strength as measured by chair rise tests, a 23% reduction in morning leg stiffness and pain, improved balance scores on standardized stability assessments, and decreased frequency of nighttime leg cramps and muscle spasms. What makes these results even more impressive is that participants achieved these improvements without any changes to their exercise routines, medications, or other lifestyle factors. The only modification was the addition of leucine-rich foods, consumed at a specific time each evening. This suggests that the primary limiting factor in their leg strength wasn't the condition of their muscles, but rather the efficiency of their neuromuscular communication systems. The best dietary sources of leucine are foods that are easily digestible and won't interfere with sleep quality. Plain Greek yogurt stands out as an ideal choice because it contains approximately 3.1 grams of leucine per 175 grams serving, along with casein protein that releases amino acids slowly throughout the night. The slow-release nature of casein ensures that your muscles have a steady supply of amino acids during the entire overnight repair period, rather than experiencing a brief spike followed by depletion. Eggs represent another excellent option, with 2 large whole eggs providing about 2.8 grams of leucine, plus additional nutrients like choline, which supports the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for muscle contraction. For those who prefer plant-based options, a combination of hemp seeds and almonds can provide adequate leucine while also supplying magnesium, which supports muscle relaxation and nerve function. The reason evening consumption is so effective relates to your body's natural hormone cycles. During the first half of the night, your body produces its highest levels of growth hormone, which works synergistically with leucine to promote muscle protein synthesis. Additionally, cortisol levels are at their lowest during these hours, creating an optimal environment for tissue repair and regeneration. Now, I want to pause here and ask you something that might help both of us. In the comments below, I'd love to hear about your own experience with leg strength and stability. Have you noticed changes in how your legs feel when you first get out of bed in the morning? Do you find yourself being more cautious on stairs or uneven surfaces than you used to be? Your experiences could help others in our community who are dealing with similar challenges, and they help me understand what topics would be most valuable to cover in future videos. If you're finding this information helpful so far, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of people who are serious about maintaining their strength and independence as they age, and your participation makes that community stronger. Now, we arrive at the most practical and actionable part of our discussion, exactly how to implement this evening nutrition strategy to begin restoring your leg strength and reducing pain within the next 24 to 48 hours. The protocol I'm about to outline is based on the successful intervention used in multiple clinical studies, but I've simplified it to work seamlessly with your existing routine and preferences. The foundation of this approach is built on precise timing, specific food choices, and strategic nutrient combinations that work together to optimize your body's natural repair processes. This isn't about following a restrictive diet or making dramatic lifestyle changes. Instead, it's about making one small but scientifically informed adjustment to your evening routine that can yield surprisingly significant results. Let's start with timing, which is absolutely critical for success. Your target window for consuming leucine-rich foods is 75 to 105 minutes before your intended bedtime. If you typically go to sleep at 10:30 p.m., your ideal eating time would be between 8:45 and 9:15 p.m. This timing ensures that leucine levels in your bloodstream peak just as your body transitions into its deepest repair phase, when growth hormone release is highest and cellular regeneration is most active. Why is this timing so precise? Your digestive system needs adequate time to break down and absorb the amino acids, but you don't want to eat so early that leucine levels have already peaked and declined before your repair cycles begin. Additionally, eating too close to bedtime can interfere with sleep quality, which would counteract the benefits we're trying to achieve. For your primary leucine source, I recommend starting with plain, full-fat Greek yogurt, unsweetened and without artificial additives. A 200-gram serving provides approximately 3.2 grams of leucine, which is the optimal amount for triggering mTOR activation in adults over 55. Greek yogurt also contains casein protein, which digests slowly and provides a steady stream of amino acids for 6 to 8 hours, ensuring your muscles have fuel throughout the entire night. The calcium content supports muscle contraction mechanisms, while the probiotics may help reduce inflammation that can interfere with muscle recovery. If you prefer not to consume dairy, 2 whole eggs prepared any way you enjoy them will provide about 2.9 grams of leucine. Eggs have the additional advantage of containing choline, which your body uses to produce acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that triggers muscle contractions. The high-quality protein in eggs is easily absorbed and utilized by your body, making them an excellent alternative to dairy-based options. For those who want the convenience of a prepared option, a high-quality casein protein powder can be mixed with water or unsweetened almond milk. Look for a product that provides at least 3 grams of leucine per serving, with minimal additives or artificial sweeteners that might interfere with sleep quality. To enhance the effectiveness of your chosen leucine source, consider adding small amounts of complementary nutrients. A handful of raw almonds or walnuts provides magnesium, which supports muscle relaxation and helps prevent nighttime cramping. Magnesium also plays a crucial role in nerve signal transmission and can help you achieve deeper, more restorative sleep. A few fresh or frozen blueberries add antioxidants that protect muscle cells from oxidative damage, while providing a small amount of natural sugars that can help with amino acid uptake. The key is to keep these additions small. We want to support the primary leucine source without overwhelming your digestive system or significantly increasing your caloric intake. What you avoid during the evening hours is just as important as what you consume. After 8 p.m., stay away from foods high in refined sugars, which can cause insulin spikes that interfere with growth hormone release. Avoid large portions of red meat, which require significant digestive energy and can leave you feeling heavy and uncomfortable. Processed foods with artificial additives, excessive sodium, or trans fats should also be eliminated from your evening routine, as these can promote inflammation and disrupt sleep quality. Caffeine is obviously problematic for sleep, but many people don't realize that alcohol, while initially sedating, actually fragments sleep patterns and reduces the deep sleep stages when muscle repair occurs most effectively. Even moderate alcohol consumption can significantly reduce the benefits of your leucine supplementation strategy. To maximize your results, consider incorporating supportive nutrients that work synergistically with leucine to enhance neuromuscular function. Vitamin D3 plays a crucial role in muscle protein synthesis and can amplify the effects of leucine on mTOR activation. If you're not getting adequate sun exposure or consuming vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, a moderate supplement of 1,000–2,000 IU taken with your evening meal can be beneficial. B-complex vitamins, particularly B6 and B12, are essential for maintaining healthy nerve function and supporting the myelin sheaths that protect your motor neurons. These vitamins are found naturally in eggs, yogurt, and fish. But if your diet is limited, a high-quality B-complex supplement taken with dinner can help ensure adequate levels. Magnesium deserves special attention because deficiency is common in older adults and can significantly impact muscle function. Beyond its role in muscle relaxation, magnesium is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, many of which are involved in energy production and protein synthesis. You can obtain magnesium from nuts, seeds, and leafy greens, or from a chelated magnesium supplement taken 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. The implementation protocol is straightforward. Begin tonight by choosing one of the leucine-rich options I've described and consuming it within your optimal time window. Stick with this routine for at least 1 full week to allow your body to adapt and begin showing measurable improvements. Many people notice subtle changes after just 2 to 3 nights. Perhaps standing up feels easier, or morning leg stiffness is reduced. But the most significant improvements typically become apparent after 7 to 10 consecutive nights. During this initial week, pay attention to how your legs feel when you first get out of bed each morning. Notice whether your balance feels more stable, whether you need to hold onto furniture for support, or whether that heavy, achy feeling in your calves and thighs has diminished. These subjective improvements often precede measurable strength gains and are excellent indicators that the protocol is working. If you want to track your progress more objectively, try timing how long it takes you to stand up from a standard chair 5 times in a row, or count how many times you can rise from a seated position in 30 seconds. These simple tests correlate well with overall leg strength and functional mobility. Remember that this approach works by restoring function to existing muscle tissue rather than building new muscle mass, which is why improvements can occur relatively quickly. You're not waiting for new muscle fibers to grow. You're reactivating neuromuscular connections that have been dormant. This is why some participants in research studies report noticeable changes after just 1 or 2 nights of implementing the protocol. As we wrap up this comprehensive guide to restoring leg strength and reducing pain through strategic evening nutrition, I want to emphasize that what you've learned today represents a fundamental shift in how we understand and address age-related muscle weakness. You now have the knowledge and tools to begin reversing changes that you may have assumed were permanent and irreversible. The journey to stronger, more reliable legs doesn't require expensive equipment, grueling exercise routines, or complex medical interventions. It starts with one simple decision: to give your body the specific nutrients it needs at the precise time when it can use them most effectively to restore the connections that control your strength and stability. I hope this information has been as eye-opening for you as it was for me when I first discovered this research. If you found value in what we've covered today, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd subscribe to our channel and become part of our growing community of people who are committed to aging with strength, confidence, and independence. Your subscription helps us reach more people who need this information and allows us to continue bringing you the latest science-based strategies for healthy aging. But more than that, I'd love to hear your story. In the comments below, please share your experiences with leg strength, balance, or mobility challenges. Have you tried approaches like this before? What questions do you have about implementing this strategy? Your stories and questions help shape the content we create and provide valuable insights for others in our community who may be facing similar challenges. Most importantly, if you decide to try this approach, come back and let us know how it works for you. Your real-world results help validate the science and inspire others to take action. Together, We're building a community where aging doesn't mean accepting weakness or limitations, but rather finding smarter, more effective ways to maintain and restore our physical capabilities. Thank you for investing your time in learning about this approach. Here's to stronger legs, better balance, and the confidence that comes from knowing you have the tools to maintain your independence and vitality for years to come.